This is the Year 3 and 4 Statistics, Day 4. Our objectives for today: I can explain what data is used for in a line graph. I can also work out values based on the scale. I can even ask and answer questions about the data. Firstly, a line graph is used to display information or data which changes over time. That's really important for a line graph. So time could be, as I put here, seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months or years. The data is continuous, and this means it doesn't stop. So continuous data could be height, weight, length or temperature. This information is plotted on a graph as a series of points, and you join them with a straight line. I'm about to show you. This is an example of a line graph. Firstly, you see here that we have a title. This is the first thing a reader will see when they look at your graph. It needs to be short and to the point and answer exactly what the graph is about. So here, sunflower line graph. We also have an x-axis, which is the horizontal. This often represents the names, dates or times being measured in the line graph. So here we have the time in days. The y-axis is showing the measurement and will always start at 0. It's important, like the other graphs, that all the measurements are split equally along the axes. Have a quick look here. Can you work out the scale for each of the axes? Take a pause in the video. Hopefully you'll see here that the height in centimetres is going up in the scale of 2 centimetres. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. And down here when we look at the dates, 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th, you should see this every 2 days. This is an example of another line graph. I look at the title, it tells me it's shadows from a 50 centimetres stick. I look down here at the time and I can see that the time is going up by 1 hour at a time. Along here it tells me it's the length of shadow in centimetres. It starts at 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, so it's going up in 20 centimetres. This is another line graph and it tells me it's the average temperature. Down here at the bottom along the x-axis we see it's to do with months, January, February, March, April and so on and so on. Along the y-axis we can see it's the temperature in Celsius, 0, 2, 4, 6, so it's going up in 2 degrees. Going back to this line graph, what questions could you ask about the data that it's showing? Take a pause in the video and make some notes. Here are some of the questions that I came up with for this graph. Take a pause in the video and try and see if you can find the answers. We'll go through them together in a minute. Let's look at question 1. How tall was the plant by Wednesday the 31st? So I go along to Wednesday the 31st, I go up my graph, that's where the point is, and I go across. And this tells me it was 20 centimetres by Wednesday the 31st. Question 2. What happened between Saturday the 30th and Friday the 5th? I go down here, Saturday the 30th and Friday the 5th. And we can see that there were no values on the graph at this point, and therefore no plant was showing above the soil. Question 3. How tall did it grow between Friday the 5th and Saturday the 13th? So Friday the 5th is here at 0, and Saturday the 13th is here, and I go up and across, and I can see that it's 8 centimetres. Therefore, it grew 8 centimetres between that time. Question 4. How many days did it take for the plant to grow half its height? Well, by the end, it was 20 centimetres. Therefore, half its height is 10 centimetres. So find 10 and height down here, and I go along. When I get the point, I can go down, and I can see this is on Wednesday the 17th. Now we know the scale of this graph is 2 days. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 days it took for the plant to grow half its height. Looking at a different graph then, this was the shadows from a 50 centimetre stick. We already worked out that it was going up in 20s along here, and the time was every hour. So, what questions could you ask about this graph? Write some down, take a pause in the video, and we'll go through some together in a minute. These are some of the questions that I asked. Take a look at them. Take a pause in the video, and can you find the answers to my questions before I go through them with you? So, question 1. What happened to the shadows between 8 AM and 12? Between 8 AM and 12, let's have a look here. Well, at 8 AM it was 120 centimetres, and at 12 o'clock it was 40 centimetres. Therefore, it got shorter. Question 2. How long was the shadow at 8 AM? I find 8 AM on my graph axis, and I go up and across 120 centimetres. Question 3. What time was the shortest shadow? If I look along here, and I can find that the shortest value is this point here, and that was at 1 o'clock. Question 4. Why could there be no data after 4 o'clock? I came up with there was maybe not enough light to make a shadow. This symbol is used if there is no data needed to be recorded under a specific amount. So if I look at this line graph here, the lowest amount is actually 19. Therefore, it would have been a complete waste to have had 19 squares all the way down the y-axis. So therefore, they put this little symbol, which means the numbers are there, we just haven't written them in now. Now have a go at the worksheet for today.